Hello, everyone. Just give me a second. So, good morning, and thank you very much for coming to the session about booking behaviors uncovered. So, my name is Alexander Trieb, and I'm the CEO and founder of Travel Audience, and we are a performance-focused, data-driven advertising platform that is designed, built, and optimized specifically and only for the travel industry. And so for the next 20-25 minutes, I'm going to talk about 4 very specific traveler behaviors we've seen over the last couple of months and years through our platform that I'm going to talk about that is different than maybe what other people are presenting here today or what have presented in the past. Hopefully they can be insightful and you can learn a thing or two. And more importantly, I'm going to talk also about what we and the team at Travel Audience has done to solve these changes in the behaviors and give you some concrete examples of who we've been working with and what kind of performance we can do. But if you allow me 2 to 5 minutes, because I'm not sure everyone here knows Travel Audience yet, so maybe I can spend a few minutes, just 2 minutes, talking about what it is that we do and why we are in a position to actually understand booking behavior. It works, very good. So first and foremost, we are a performance at scale platform. We deal with a lot of different types of data that is very travel specific. So precisely about 2 billion travel intent signals we see through our platform every single day. That means that we can really track many millions of different types of travelers across the entire customer journey to be able to determine when or what they're trying to book. And just to give you a visualization of what that means, if you take Lucy here as an example, everything from I think I want to go on a holiday all the way down to the point when she actually books something and even beyond before she starts traveling, there are many different types of touch points that she interacts with. It could be a meta site, it could be an OTA site, it could be a travel website. And each one of these touch points, we get to see the entire customer journey. And for each one of these touch points, our platform, our advertising platform, decides when to interact with this user, what to show, what message we want to convey from which advertiser, what the content of that message is, and also at what price point we're interested in buying and showing these ads. And ensuring that at the end of the day, we have a positive return on ad spend for every one of our travel advertising clients, whether there's a destination marketing organization, or an OTA, or an airline, or a hotel chain, or anything else. So that's in essence what we do. And it doesn't matter what format, what channel, in what device, we cover all the spectrums, focusing very much on the programmatic space. And we also take it actually one step even further. So all the intent signals that I've shown beforehand along the customer journey is what we and our platform gets to see. And with some of the advertisers, we also get to see some data that comes from their partners, third-party data from their partners that we are collecting and piggybacking as well. And if they do branding with media agencies, because we're very performance-focused, we get to piggyback and see this information as well. So the main point is we get to see a holistic view of the traveler's journey across all the marketing activities of a particular advertiser. And so we're able to really collect this information and be able to help the advertiser understand better how their media is being spent, which channels perform better, which ones are not as efficient, and what we can do to optimize the return on ad spend across the entire thing. Plus, we get more data so we have a better understanding holistically of what the traveler does. So this is what we do every single day. And so we basically look at all these different data points and make decisions. And so now over the next 15-20 minutes, I want to talk about kind of the 4 things. And the point is I want to be a little bit provocative today, if I may, because a lot of the people that are up on stage or the reports that you see are always talking about traveler visits, 47, 48, 36, 17 different websites on average until they finally make a booking. We're saying it doesn't really matter. It's just an average. And the problem with averages is that it's an average. You take one user that visits one website and does a booking. You take another user and it's 100 websites and does a booking. So on average, you have 50 websites. So what? Who cares? The point is, in today's world, every traveler has a unique way to search, shop, book and make decisions about buying a particular flight or hotel or cruise or car rental. So everyone is unique. And so I want to talk about 4 different traveler behaviors that we've seen in the last couple of months and years and what we have solved and how we have solved them in essence to deliver the performance at scale that we do. The first one is really about searching and booking. How people search from a perspective of an OTA and where they book ultimately and what we can deduce out of that. The second one is about flexibility and indecisiveness of travelers that we see in the key European markets. The third one is about the likelihood to predict the ability of a particular product or interest that the user, the traveler wants to know. And last but not least, it's about what the user does before and after coming to a website. So really taking the whole customer journey into perspective and therefore be able to predict the likelihood the user is going to book and therefore improve performance. So, the first part is, if you take all the bookings from an OTA perspective, the interesting thing is only 15% of those users actually search on the OTA only. The majority of the users, over 2/3 of them, searching on the OTA and other places, of course. So it's a huge complex search environment until finally the user comes down. And if you take that, even more interesting, for all the users that have converted on this OTA at some point in time, during this time frame, over 72% actually booked on another competitor. This was a customer of the OTA. He wanted to travel. He was booking something. He just didn't book it on that OTA. And there's two things that are important about this. One is you need to focus all of your marketing activities on the 72%, not the 28%, because the 28% are already planning on booking on the site, which is sometimes the problem with retargeting. If you're too aggressive, you might actually even damage your brand. On our side, we focused on another way that we can help. They took my glass of water away. 1 second. So on the other side, hello, can you hear me? Okay. So on the other side, we've also figured out that if there's so many people that are coming onto the site and leaving the site, that you can actually monetize these users. Travel companies spend increasing a large amount of money and resources to get as many travelers on board as possible. Now, becoming a data partner of ours, you have the ability to allow us to collect anonymized data from the website, and we can predict the likelihood that this user is going to book on the site at any given point in time or not. Now, if this user is not going to book something and he's going to leave anyway, you can allow us to show ads off-site on a non-competing travel advertiser. We make money with this and we share this back with you. It's a pure profit bottom line at the end of the day for you. The benefit is you don't have to do anything. We don't cannibalize your core business, and you're able to get pure profits, which increases your war chest to, again, target the 72%. The second behavior is about indecisiveness and flexibility. So if we're looking at the last 2 months in the key European markets, this is January and February of 2018, we've seen that over 72% of people have looked for multiple destinations, not a single destination. Very few just focus and say, I want to go to Bali or I want to go to Mallorca, and that's it, and then book. So you have multiple destinations, and over 80% of the people actually look at multiple travel periods. So they're very flexible in terms of when they want to go. So the combination of multiple destinations and multiple travel periods makes it very difficult from an advertising perspective to ensure that you have the right copy and the right content and the right product in front of the traveler at any given point in time. So it's hundreds of thousands of possible combinations. So what we've done with our team is we've worked together very closely with Amadeus, as Travel Audience is part of the Amadeus group, and we've connected their platform systems and their IT systems into our platform so that we are able to show real-time, up-to-date, bookable offers of all the possible products that are available for an airline. We refer to this as live fare integration. And the good thing is that we can do this at a super speed, so in less than 100 milliseconds, inject the price of the ad, of the flight into the ad, and at scale. All the possible product combinations we can include. Now, the benefit is clear. If you show our live fare solution versus showing no fares, just a normal static banner, we have a 3 times increase in the return on ad spend. More people convert at a much higher speed. If you also take our live fare and compare that to a normal standard kind of feed integration, we're still 1.5 times better in terms of return on ad spend. And it's fully automated, so that no matter what the user is searching for or looking for or interested in, our system automatically ensures that we get the right product and the right content and show this in front of the user in real time. Third element is in terms of understanding each individual kind of likelihood to book a particular product or destination. So I'm going to very simplify this in a two-dimensional matrix. The reality looks a little bit difficult, a little bit more complex. But if you take the y-axis and you look at, is the likelihood that this user is going to book at any point high or low? And if you look at the x-axis, is the likelihood that he's going to book a particular product or destination high or low? So classical marketing says everyone is trying to get to the dark blue box. Everyone wants to target those users that are very, very close in front of a booking and also very interested in a specific product or specific destination. There's two problems with that. One is it's a very small audience. And the second thing is the price is becoming increasingly expensive, which means that it will affect your return on your ad spend. You have to start looking for alternative ways to target the people that are showing a little bit more flexibility or even are interested in additional products or destinations that you can try to influence through advertising. Because you can increase your audience reach significantly and still be able to get a positive return on your ad spend. Now, our data science team has come up with a very interesting way of solving this, in particular for destination marketing organizations. And we have a couple of destination marketing organizations or DMOs that we're working with. Canary Islands is one of them. And we've come up with what we refer to as the competing destination model, which means we can see that users are searching for, let's say, Mallorca or Ibiza or Bali or Las Vegas or London, New York, and we can show them a Canary Island ad. So we're specifically targeting users that are not interested in Canary Islands. And then what the system and the machine learning algorithms can do is it can determine which one of these destinations are most competing. So which one of these destinations have a higher propensity that people will click on. So as an example and as a result, you can see people looking for Sardinia who see a Canary Island ad click 0.66% of the time. Very, very high click rates. Same thing goes for people that are looking for Rome, West Turkey, or Northeast Italy, and so on a destination by destination level. The benefit of this is we can start increasing the reach of travelers we want to target. Because all of a sudden, it's not just people that are interested in Canary Islands that we're trying to target. It's everyone else that is in this kind of broader destination list. Secondly, we can actually show Canary Islands which destinations they're really competing with, based on the demand and the click rates from the users that we show the ads to. And thirdly, because of the reach, we actually are able to influence and convert more visitors to the Canary Islands. That means they get incremental visitors that weren't even part of the initial kind of visitor base. So very interesting win-win for everyone. Plus, the user and the traveler gets to have additional ideas of where to go besides maybe just the destinations that we're looking for to begin with. And all of this fully automated. Last but not least, because we've built our own technology and our own platform and we own the entire technology stack, this here is a view of a single user over time for the entire customer journey, where each one of the dots and the colors in this graph represents a particular travel website that they visited in this time. So each one of these dots is one particular instance and intent signal we receive. So you can see over a 30-day period, they start initially searching, then they get closer and closer to the actual booking, and even when they book something, afterwards they still continue researching, perhaps maybe a cross-sell or upsell opportunity. Now, what we can even do is even go a step further, and we can even see at what website types they went to. Was it a meta? How many metas did they visit? Was it an OTA? Was it an airline? Did they go to the meta beforehand, then come to the site, and then go to an airline, or the other way around? And each user is different. And therefore, from that particular perspective, we can really customize and target and be able to predict the likelihood that the user is going to book much more precisely. So if we take this as an example, this would be a booking event that occurred, and going back about 72 hours. So this is the time when we get to see the particular user at 72 hours before a booking, and the closer we get to the booking, our likelihood to predict the fact that he's going to book increases by 8 to 18 times with a new version that we just released this week. So we're getting better and better at understanding how close the user is at a particular booking, and that helps us in making sure in the way that we bid for the particular user. So we can get even more conversions, target much better, and do it much more efficiently in terms of the media spend. And just to give you an example, we have worked with Transavia. Transavia is one of our great partners that we are working with for quite some time. We started working with them by analyzing the converters of their site and the non-converters, looking at what the users did beforehand and afterwards, and using this information and feeding our machine learning platform, we are able to bring an increase by 44% more of the bookings than anyone else. We were competing with other DSPs, demand-side platforms, and we shadowed them out of the competition, and now we're working together with Transavia to see how much more we can scale, what other kind of destinations we can add, and markets we can add, and help them even grow as a business. And last but not least, then I'm almost done, bear with me, Neckermann. I like Neckermann because we're actually located in Berlin. It's a German company, but they use every product and service that we offer. From being a publisher, data partner, from doing native ads to programmatic, they use everything. So I really like them. It's a great case study. In this case, they wanted to also understand how our platform is performing by employing a third-party neutral attribution modeling company. So that has nothing to do with us. They were tracking and seeing how many conversions do we really make by using the campaigns of travel audience. And we were very happy to find out that after several months of running these campaigns, we were actually 2 to 3 times better in terms of our conversions by using this attribution model from the party than we ourselves initially saw by ourselves. So by being able to do this, we can see that we have more and more ability to perform at scale than anyone else. Plus, benefit is they also started spending more with us. Okay? So, to summarize, these are just 4 couple of examples that we have in terms of understanding that each user has a different way of browsing, searching, and then booking. They have different ways of going to multiple destinations and to multiple time periods. Over time, their likelihood to book something changes, which you have to make sure you target them at the right time. And of course, if you understand where they are coming from and where they're going, you're much better to deliver, ultimately, the performance at scale that is required from everyone in the travel industry. So, this was my 15 minutes of fame. I thank you very much for the time. We are part of Amadeus, as I mentioned beforehand. My team is here. We are here in hall 5.1, which is this direction, just across the board. If you have any questions or you want to know more about it, please talk to them. They're happy to answer any questions. Maybe we can even work together at some point, and I hope that we have a chance to help you grow your business and perform at scale. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the ITB.
I think we have a little bit of time for questions. So eventually, are there any questions in the audience? Does anybody, would anybody like to question, maybe challenge a little bit here on the topic of advertising? Yes. Here, make sure to speak into the mic.
Hello. I want to ask, where do you get data on these users? I missed it.
So there are a variety of different data sources that we use. We have, of course, our own network. We have different publishers in the network. We have our own bidding technology and our bitstream technology. So RTB signals are coming in. We're part of Amadeus, so there's a lot of data that we receive in an anonymized, aggregated format. We have different capabilities to work on private deals. So they're different with data partners, which I mentioned beforehand as well. So we have dozens of data partners which are earning several hundreds of thousands of euros with us as well. So there is a combination of different data sources that we get, that we make sure that we have the consent to be able to use, and then we collect this and aggregate this information to then feed our platform and machine. Okay?
Anybody else? Wonderful. Yeah, there's another question in the back. Here, I'll take your mic. Perfect.
Hi there. Ooh, it's very loud. So I work for a DMO that doesn't actually sell anything. It's purely about messaging, and I suppose I'd be interested in knowing how you input, obviously, the partner data and the data from other conversion partners to correlate, or to show the correlation between the destination messaging and the final conversion.
So in this case, what we do with DMOs, and maybe I really invite you to come to our booth so we can talk a bit more in detail. But we have actually a large ecosystem of OTAs and airlines that we work with. So we can help help the DMOs to ensure that we can use these OTAs as a basis for selling particular products. So most of the DMO kind of combinations we have is to use OTAs, airlines, to help promote the particular destination with the DMO, and then we can track who's converting, who's not converting, and what people are really actually visiting the DMO. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Any other questions?
Anybody else? No? Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. Everybody, give him a nice round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.